Hello again and welcome back to another one. And today we have a couple of topics to cover as new details have emerged linked to Eminem's upcoming album. Some official and some are based on fascinating theories that have taken social media by storm. As apparently, when Eminem shared this tweet, public service announcement, The Death of Slim Shady is a conceptual album. Therefore, if you listen to songs out of order, they might not make sense. Enjoy. Now, many of us on the web were convinced that he had to spell this out because we are in the streaming era of music, but apparently, according to a new theory, the fact that he never specified the order and put Death of Slim Shady in quotes reportedly revealed that there was more to this than meets the eye, and we'll expand on this in a bit, including what fans on social media think about the new theories so far. And today we also have more that sparked speculations of a part 2 or perhaps some deluxe version or even another new album that could be on the way this year. And we also have more from 50 Cent, who recently reacted to the new album. And speaking on Eminem returning fire to Candace Owens, who decided to play the victim when she acted like Eminem was the instigator.
Through a strategy that a lot of new rappers do, where they find out who is the big rapper and they start a beef, right? Nobody knows who I am, so I'm just gonna start a beef with Candace Owens.
Well, that segment of social media is still going off over this, as even Andrew Tate dropped a Eminem DISS freestyle a few hours ago, and we'll expand on this later. And yes, the reviews from hip-hop fans keep blowing up. Respect to Nas and Eminem for being old heads that's still dropping hip-hop albums and not giving us lazy lyrics. And before we dive in, it is a couple of updates on the death of Slim Shady. As early predictions from the United Kingdom revealed, guess who's back? Eminem could see Houdini return to #1 this week. And just in case you missed it, after decades of dominating in the United Kingdom, Eminem ended up having his longest running #1 hit at the age of 51 with Houdini. And now we find out that it could extend this record for Eminem following the release of Death of Slim Shady. No wonder he rapped about how he hates ceilings on Toby. And speaking on Houdini, the music video managed to stay on top for biggest hip-hop week on YouTube for a music video so far in 2024, and it managed to hold this record even after Not Like Us beat its 24-hour record. But let's just say 2024 continues to be a great year for the Aftermath gang, as Eminem and Kendrick hold the top 2 spots. And yes, Eminem remains at the top for #1 artist in the world across all DSPs combined. And before we get to the theory that's taken social media by storm, that some even believe gives new meaning to why on Houdini, Eminem rapped and For My Last Trick, speculations hit the web that even made headlines like this. Is Eminem planning to release a deluxe album of the death of Slim Shady? And this is in part based on the interview with Jimmy Kimmel when Dr. Dre made the first official announcement that Eminem was releasing an album. And the report included speculations like, wasn't 50 Cent and Dre confirmed they had features on Eminem's album during the Jimmy Kimmel appearance at Eminem What Are You Up To? Side B all over again, and some have linked this to other interviews and added, don't forget how Ed Sheeran said he has another song with M2. And more on this note, no way there is no Royce here. Side B coming, I know, but perhaps we could be getting another album altogether. And before we get to the theory, more has popped up that shows Slim Shady looks to be missing rather than dead. And we even got a skit from Steve Berman for the promotional campaign that included a voicemail when you call 855-313-SLIM, and you can hear Steve Berman.
Hi, it's Steve Berman from The Office. Apparently, Slim Shady has gone missing. Do I really care? If you happen to find him, do me a favor. Tell him to stay lost. What am I doing this for? Your call won't be returned because I really don't care if you find him or not. Now leave me alone.
And now we got a new theory that suggested listening to the album in reverse order actually tells a different story that could explain the concept of Houdini when Eminem rapped and For My Last Trick, all thanks to a Twitter user that goes by Daniel. And here's a quick rundown of the theory track by track. The death of Slim Shady back to front tells a whole different story. Somebody Save Me foreshadowing Marshall's death. Guess Who's Back foreshadowing the return of Slim Shady. Toby, sometimes ish just don't pan out. Shady's shadow shows up. bad one. One minute you're here, the next you're gone. It seems like Marsh's job is done. He pulled off his stunt. Temporary, his letter to Haley before he dies. Head honcho. Writing is on the wall. Ezekiel, the story of Ezekiel, and remembrance on Creation Day. Marshall's Creation Day would be Slim Shady. You'll be a stand till I die though. Guilty conscience too. Slim Shady laughing after Paul hangs up on him, showing it wasn't a dream. Breaking news. Slim Shady is showing Marshall all the ish he has just started. Slim Shady laughing viciously at the end. Houdini, Paul calls back and says good luck. This is his rebuttal to Marshall calling him, and he thinks that Marshall is messing with him because he's on this tangent again. What you thought you saw ain't what you saw. This will come back into play later. Road rage. Slim dyes Marshall hair blonde again. Hence Marshall rapping like a blonde hair version of himself the rest of the way. Fuel. The Reapers coming to heathen, and I need it from me. Antichrist. Cobain put a gauge to his brain. I'm going out with a bang, eh? Marshall's voice. Lucifer switching between Marsh and Slim. First I must weave rhymes, then I'ma leave eyes in a state of disbelief. A setup to the finale of this all. Starts to get really good. All you got. Slim telling Marshall he ain't ish without him, nor is Marshall's weariness and tone. At this point, Slim has completely taken over, hence the opening of Evil. Woke up with an attitude today, not in the mood to play. Stuck in my ruthless ways, I refuse to change. Nothing to lose or gain, guess I just choose to stay evil. Big foreshadow. Brand new dance. Shady just said he's so evil, so he's gonna show it by making a whole song crapping on Reeves. Trouble skit. Alright, here, drink this. B, he just drugged Marshall. Let me go. B, Marshall says as he's tied up. Then Shady says, little clown, what's wrong? Thought you were dreaming, huh? Bingo. Habits. You can hear Marshall struggling as he's tied up and gagged. Slim is telling him to eat a pill of some sort to knock him out. Renaissance. Slim buries Marshall, spits on his grave. Slim proceeds to spit his first song without the person that started it all for him. Marshall Mathers. Straight vintage Slim Shady on the track, teasing what's about to be unleashed on the world with Side B. Now, this theory blew up on social media platforms already. It sounds like a huge reach, but it is also plausible, and some have expanded. This honestly makes more sense than the original way it was intended to be played. To me, Temporary and Somebody Save Me was always a what if Slim Shady had killed Marsh during Relapse. It is a memory, if you will, and this theory has got thousands going back to re-listen to the album in reverse at the moment to see if it flows. And some have added, I don't know, but Houdini ending with a car crashing through town, leading into road rage and fuel is pretty good evidence, even for the most skeptical. LOL. Sensational. And some have even added, the footsteps from Ken Kniff leading into Toby is what solidifies this completely. I'm gonna cry, thank you brother, folded hands emoji. So this suggests Slim Shady took over Marshall, but tricked the world into believing that this was the death of Slim Shady. And if this is legit, this is a plot twist level, like the miniseries Behind Her Eyes. If you have seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. And transitions between Guess Who's Back and Toby continues to provide strong evidence for this theory. Another user expanded, I noticed that playing it backwards also has tracks that lead into the other ones, like the footsteps from Guess Who's Back led into Toby. And I'll be looking forward to your thoughts on this one, as now you have another excuse to listen to the album once again, this time in reverse. So be sure to head back to the comment section after you do to tell us what you think about this theory, or is this just a reach? And moving on, perhaps Andrew Tate is feeling left out, seeing as he also dissed Eminem a few months back, just like Candace Owens did back when he tweeted, "Don't like Eminem, he's a crybaby. Haley, bro, it's been like 30 years, shut up." So perhaps seeing as Eminem reacted to Candace and left him out, first he tweeted, "Yo, my dude, Candace O, the word on the street, yo, is that Eminem did a diss track about you. Yo, my G, you got served. This matters loads. You have to rap back, dog, otherwise nothing will happen." And he even dropped a freestyle dissing Eminem back, perhaps seeing as Candace Owens decided to cry instead of rap back. Check it out.
Eminem wrote some bars and he said that you're whack. He did the illest diss on his latest track. He wants to revive his career, but he can't get it back. And if you don't vote for Joe Biden, then you ain't black. Boom-ba-clat.
And this is hilarious because here we go again with the talking points that Eminem is trying to revive his career. Candace Owens peddled this flat out lie in her reaction video, and now we got Andrew Tate doing the same when Eminem was literally the second biggest rapper in the world last year. And if you're a fan of these people who built their platforms by claiming to be the speakers of truth, it makes their takes on Eminem even more hilarious, since they usually accuse the mainstream media of pushing lies. But this is expected when internet gurus step out of their comfort zone, because just because you believe you're an expert in one topic doesn't mean you're qualified to speak on others. But they are blinded by ego and end up thinking they are qualified to branch out to matters they know nothing about, and they end up looking like this.
Oh my, so cool. Not.
And 50 Cent shared this: "The death of Slim Shady surpasses 100 million streams in only 2 days. It was streamed 43 million times on its second day." And he added the caption, "Yo, Eminem-ish is crazy. It takes me a while to understand the details of this one fire emoji," which sparked reactions like, "One day, people will be studying M in schools like they do Shakespeare." And as far as I know, this is already happening in some European universities. We've even covered some of these stories on this channel. But over to you guys, share your thoughts below. Thanks for watching, and remember to head back here to share your thoughts on the theory that the death of Slim Shady was meant to be listened to in reverse.